General Hospital. The quiet afternoon in Port Haven seemed ordinary at first. People moved through the town square, shop owners greeted familiar faces, and families went about their daily routines. But beneath the calm surface, several lives were about to change in ways no one could have imagined. Rocco had always been known as a thoughtful young man. He carried himself with confidence and rarely let others see when something troubled him. Yet recently, those closest to him noticed a difference. He appeared distracted, his smile came less often, and whenever someone asked if everything was all right, he quickly changed the subject. The reason for his growing concern was something he had discovered completely by accident. While helping organize old family records, Rocco came across a collection of documents that seemed out of place. At first, he assumed they were ordinary paperwork, but as he looked closer, he realized they contained information that raised troubling questions about events from years earlier. The discovery left him unsettled. He spent days trying to convince himself there was a simple explanation. Perhaps the records had been filed incorrectly. Maybe someone had made a mistake. But deep down, he knew the answers might be far more complicated. Meanwhile, across town, Nathan found himself facing a difficult decision. For months, he had carried a secret that weighed heavily on him. Every day he delayed telling the truth made the burden feel even greater. He understood that revealing what he knew could change several lives forever. Nathan considered keeping silent. He considered leaving town. He even considered destroying the evidence he possessed, but none of those options felt right. Eventually, he realized there was only one person he trusted enough to hear the truth: Nina. Known for her compassion and wisdom, Nina had become someone many people relied on during difficult times. Nathan believed she would understand the impossible situation he faced. When they finally met, the atmosphere felt tense from the very beginning. Nina immediately sensed that something was wrong. Nathan struggled to find the right words. Several times he started to speak before stopping himself. Finally, he took a deep breath and revealed the secret he had been hiding. As the truth unfolded, Nina's expression changed from concern to disbelief. The information Nathan shared connected several unexplained events that had puzzled residents of Port Haven for years. Suddenly, things that once seemed unrelated began fitting together like pieces of a puzzle. Nina listened carefully. The more she heard, the more she realized the consequences could be enormous. What shocked her most was the realization that some people had unknowingly built their lives around assumptions that were never true. Nathan finished speaking and waited for a response. For a long moment, silence filled the room. Finally, Nina spoke. She told him that the truth deserved to be known, but she also warned that once certain secrets were revealed, there would be no turning back. At the same time, another unexpected development was unfolding. Rick had been pursuing answers to a completely different mystery. Known for his determination, he rarely abandoned a question once it captured his attention. Recently, he had become suspicious about inconsistencies in several financial records tied to a long-forgotten business venture. What began as simple curiosity gradually evolved into a full investigation. The deeper Rick looked, the stranger things became. Names appeared where they should not have appeared. Transactions connected individuals who supposedly had no relationship. Dates failed to match official accounts. None of it made sense. Until one remarkable discovery changed everything. Hidden among hundreds of pages of documents was a single piece of information that connected multiple secrets at once. Rick stared at the evidence in disbelief. The implications were staggering. Without realizing it, he had uncovered a truth capable of affecting some of the most respected families in Port Haven. He knew he needed confirmation. Rushing to gather additional proof, Rick worked tirelessly to ensure there was no mistake.
Unfortunately, he wasn't the only person aware that something significant had been discovered. Someone else had been watching. Someone who desperately wanted certain truths to remain hidden. As evening approached, tension spread throughout the town. Rocco continued examining the records he had found. Nathan wrestled with the consequences of his confession. Nina considered the responsibility now resting on her shoulders. Rick moved closer to confirming his discovery. And somewhere in the shadows, an unknown figure prepared to protect a secret at any cost. The following day brought even more surprises. Rocco decided he could no longer remain silent. He arranged a meeting with several people directly connected to the documents he had discovered. His hands trembled as he prepared to share what he knew. Part of him feared he might be wrong. Another part feared he might be right. When everyone finally gathered, the atmosphere became charged with anticipation. Questions filled the room. Concern spread from face to face. Rocco carefully explained his findings.
As he spoke, reactions varied dramatically. Some individuals appeared shocked. Others seemed confused. One person looked terrified. That reaction immediately caught Rocco's attention. It suggested there was far more to the story than anyone realized. Meanwhile, Nina made a decision of her own. She believed keeping Nathan's confession hidden would only create greater problems in the future. The truth needed to come out. However, she wanted to ensure it happened in a way that minimized unnecessary harm. Working quietly behind the scenes, she began bringing together information from multiple sources. The more evidence she collected, the clearer the overall picture became. Every revelation seemed connected. Every mystery pointed toward the same hidden truth. Rick soon reached a similar conclusion. After verifying his discovery, he realized his investigation and Nathan's confession were part of the same story. Separate paths had led them to the same destination. The realization left him stunned. For years, people had accepted a version of events that was incomplete. Now the missing pieces were finally emerging. As word began spreading through Port Haven, relationships faced unexpected challenges. Friends questioned one another. Families revisited painful memories. Old disagreements resurfaced. Yet amid the uncertainty, something positive also emerged. People started recognizing the importance of honesty. Secrets might provide temporary protection, but eventually the truth finds a way to surface. Rocco learned that lesson firsthand. Although his discovery initially filled him with fear, confronting reality ultimately brought clarity. Nathan experienced a similar transformation. The confession he had dreaded for so long became a source of relief. Nina's guidance helped others navigate the difficult conversations ahead, and Rick's persistence ensured crucial facts could no longer remain hidden. In the days that followed, the community slowly adjusted to its new reality. Not every question received an immediate answer. Not every relationship healed overnight. But progress became possible because people finally understood the truth. For Rocco, the experience marked a turning point. He entered the situation uncertain and afraid. He emerged stronger, wiser, and more confident than before. Nathan discovered that courage is not the absence of fear. Sometimes courage means speaking honestly despite the consequences. Nina proved once again why so many people trusted her judgment. And Rick demonstrated that determination can uncover even the most carefully hidden secrets. As the sun set over Port Haven, the town looked much the same as it had always had. The streets remained familiar, the buildings stood unchanged. Life continued moving forward, yet everything felt different. The secrets that once divided people had finally come into the light. New challenges undoubtedly awaited. Fresh mysteries would eventually appear. Unexpected twists would continue shaping the lives of everyone involved. But one thing was certain. The truth had changed everything.
and the effects of that truth would continue influencing Port Haven for a very long time to come. If you enjoyed this dramatic story filled with secrets, revelations, and unexpected turns, be sure to like, comment, and share your thoughts about which character's journey surprised you the most. Stay tuned for more emotional drama, family conflicts, and life-changing discoveries.